How do kaleidoscopes use geometric reflection? Imagine looking into a tube and seeing a world of colorful, repeating shapes that seem to dance and change with every turn. How do those intricate patterns appear so perfectly symmetrical? The secret lies in the magic of geometric reflection. Inside a kaleidoscope, there are usually 2 or more mirrors arranged at specific angles. When you look through the tube, light from objects or tiny pieces of glass beams bounces between these mirrors. Each bounce is a reflection, flipping the image across an invisible line called the mirror line. This flipping creates a mirror image of whatever is at the end of the tube. The mirrors are set up in a special way. Usually, 3 long mirrors from a triangle inside the tube. The angles between these mirrors are very important because they decide how many times the image will reflect it and how many symmetrical copies you will see. When light hits the mirrors, it bounces back and forth, creating multiple images. Each reflection adds a new layer of symmetry, making the pattern more complex and beautiful. The smaller the angle between the mirrors, the more reflections happen, and the more detailed the pattern becomes. Because the mirrors are arranged in a triangle, the reflections produce repeated triangular shapes. These shapes fill your view with a tessellated pattern, which is a pattern that repeats without gaps or overlaps. The reflections can go on infinitely, but in real life, the images get smaller and dimmer with each bounce. This repetition creates the intricate, symmetrical designs that kaleidoscopes are famous for. From a math point of view, these repeated reflections follow a concept called reflection groups. These groups are sets of reflections across the sides of a shape that generate patterns covering the entire plane without overlapping. This is why the patterns inside a kaleidoscope are so regular and symmetrical. When you shake or rotate the kaleidoscope, the objects at the end move, and their reflections bounce around the mirrors, creating new, ever-changing designs. So, in simple words, kaleidoscopes use the idea of reflection by arranging mirrors at angles to each other. These mirrors bounce light and images back and forth, creating multiple symmetrical images. The repeated reflections produce beautiful patterns of triangles and polygons, showing how basic geometry can turn into stunning visual art.